Welcome to Ecstatic Yoga. I am Grace. Welcome to our asana practice today. Our day, we're going to do floor flow today rather than the warrior flow because tomorrow in our in-person class, we are going to do a warrior analytics class. I don't want you to have to do two warriors in one day. I'm sorry, we're going to do warrior today. Okay. I'll have to switch that on the thing. So we're going to do warrior today. That means I need to change the zoom a little bit. Let me do that. Let's see. Oh, no. More out. 90%. Okay, you can see some of my mess. Let's see what I've got. This is our chair. There. Okay, that'll work so that you can see me. So we're going to don't listen to the thing. I'll change it. We're going to do a warrior flow today. So we can do warrior tomorrow in analytics. We're going to learn about the analytics of the warrior tomorrow. And I'll go through a little bit today. But this is just more of a nice flow, warrior flow. I'll touch on some of the variations and modifications, but we'll be going more depth on Thursday. So glad that you're here. And let's begin our class. Closing the eyes, feeling that earth supporting your body. Taking a moment to acknowledge that support, that core support that we have every day, all day, this earth supporting our physical presence. So we have much more expanded presences, but it's supporting it all so that we can be here in this experience, this temporary experience, and we can make it the best we can possibly make it. We can give our full effort here as having a physical experience. And taking a moment to scan ourselves, scan the physical body, feeling where the arms are, the shoulders, the head, torso, the pelvis, the legs, the feet, the hands, the face, just being aware of this physical body that we are animating through. We have the opportunity. And then dive in a little deeper and go into the heart, into the soul, into the inner dynamic aliveness within you, and noticing and basking in that energy field within. Taking a few breaths to do that, scanning how it feels inside. And now basking in that Manamaya kosha, the emotional body. Gotta let Xander the cat in. Oh, baby boy. Xander the ecstatic yoga kitty cat. Now that it's gotten chillier, I've had to have the door closed. So scanning and just noticing what emotions are there for you without having to judge them or push them away, even title or label them. and setting that intention for yourself, something you'd like to create for your life, stating it in the positive and the present as if it already is. We're putting the cart before the horse and basking in those emotions, that emotional benefit, that which you truly want with this intention. And releasing that intention with a this or better, this or better, this or better. Beautiful. And we are going to come up to a standing pose. And we're going to just make circles with the hips. Just going to begin to warm up the body a little bit. I'm going to turn this extra light on. That helps. Okay, a little bit better. That's a little better. And going slow enough so that you can feel the beautiful sensations in your hips, and go in the other direction. And we're going to be breathing through our belly in through this practice into that lower abdomen, triggering that relaxation response, and remembering to always back off if there's any pain. And let's go side to side, front to back, just playing with the hips a little bit. And you can always take a break anytime if it feels too much. We're going to be doing a warrior flow, so we're a little bit more work. And so just knowing you can always back off at any time, take a break, stand, sit, even move into Savasana. And we're going to be using our bandhas. So remembering Mula Bandha is that engaging that pelvic floor. Uddiyana Bandha's belly is in and up. It's active, but we're still breathing right down here. And Jalandhara, chin, it comes in, and tongue is on the roof of the mouth. Beautiful. Let's shake out a little bit. Just shake everything out. The arms, the shoulders, the legs. Shake out any old energy. Anything that's not serving our body. Just shaking it out. Always a good thing to do. They say it kind of releases energy from the cells that's stagnant and not working. And remember, with our body, if we use it or lose it. That goes with our body. Got to use our body to keep it healthy and active and in that right range of weight and everything. We've got to use our body. That's sometimes why elderly people start to get crickety and they can't move because they're just sitting all day. They're not moving it anymore. And you got to use your body. I know people that are 102 that do yoga and then are more limber than some 20-year-olds. So just keep using your body and you'll stay nice and young. Beautiful. So let's do some cross crawls. Just get the right and left brain activated together, and you can do a both. And then we're going to do, obviously I need this today. With our feet. Just getting everything connected. This is a really good way to connect. And if you need to be on top of your game, alert, you want to do a little cross crawling with your body. A little twisting. Wake up that spine. Beautiful. And let's do our breath of joy. Inhaling the arms up to shoulder length, out, heart open, up to the sky, bending the knees, and exhaling. Inhale. One more time. Stay down for a minute. Let's just hang here for a moment and feel those beautiful sensations. And as we come up, moving up one vertebra at a time, allowing that body to take its time, allowing the spine to bring your body up. And the last thing to come up is going to be the neck and the head. It's just the opposite as when we hinge up. So we hinge at the hips. It's very different. We're going to lift the head and the heart first. When we roll up, like we just did, we're going to let the spine from the lumbar, the lower thoracic, upper thoracic, and then when we get to the cervicals, that's what's going to lift the head up. So that's the difference. So we're going to move into a warrior flow. I'll go into some analytics. I have the blocks here. Always use a block, and I don't use blocks because I've been doing yoga since I was a teenager, and I do a lot of yoga outdoors when I'm outside on a hike or this or that, and I don't like to put a block in my backpack. I just use a little fanny pack, a couple of granola bars, and some water. And so I've gotten really used to not using blocks, but sometimes it's better to use blocks if it's going to compromise the alignment of your pose. So I'll show you in some of the poses where that can happen. So we're going to have a nice wide foundation, remembering we always set the foundation first, and then we go into alignment. So here the foundation is set, but we're going to take that back foot about 30 to 40, front foot 90. Now the foundation is set. And I'm going to begin to go into alignment. So part of my body that's touching earth is the foundation. It's different in every pose. So if I was in balancing bear, it would be my sits bone foundation. So we're going to take the knee over the front ankle. So front knee over the front ankle. Now it can go a little back, but we don't want it to go forward because that puts tension on the knee, and we want to take care of our knees. And this is warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. So my pelvis is going to face you. Yours is going to face me. We don't need to square the hips at all. This back thigh is in that thigh loop. It's engaged. Take that pelvis into neutral. Feel that kidney loop lift us up. So we're moving into our alignment in our loops. Arms are going to go straight out. Now the back arm is the same height as the front. A lot of times people are like this in their warrior, but we really want to have them even if possible. We also don't want to hinge forward in our warrior, Virabhadrasana 2. That's more in a side angle. On a nice straight line here with side angle, but we're in Virabhadrasana 2. So we want to be upright, feeling that torso is straight up, kind of like the Sagittarian horse. He's on a horse, but he's straight up. So arms there, and then we just simply turn the head to gaze out over the fingertips. Now, one nice modification for this is to go into a low lunge. So you can actually drop your knee. You can be into your Virabhadrasana 2, like that, if this helps, if that's too much. Now, another little bit easier, well, this might be a little, it's just to narrow that stance. So now you're in your Virabhadrasana 2, but you're in a nice narrow stance. It gives you a little more balance and a little less effort to do that. All right, so let's gaze out over those front fingertips and let's engage those bandhas and let's breathe. One more breath. Deep breath in, and on your exhale, let's drop the back arm to the back leg, the back of the back leg. Let's reach that front arm up into a reverse warrior, Viparita Virabhadrasana. And here we are in reverse warrior. We're gazing up towards the heavens, knees still over the ankle, engaging the bandhas, and breathe. One more nice deep breath. And we're coming down into side angle. Now, side angle takes a little bit of effort. So we're actually going to have very little weight on this leg with the arm, very little weight. And you're going to cup the hand, just like you might be even holding some water. And you can also be like this. Some different options here. But if we can, just kind of rest it on very gently. Back arm comes up alongside the body. And you want to see this line from the back leg along the body and out through. So we don't want to be like this. We don't want to be like that. We want to try to get our body nice. And the muscles of the legs and the core are lifting us. Oh, you can do that. You can narrow the stance. And let's breathe. Nice deep inhale. And on our exhale, we're going to move into Trikonasana. So first thing we're going to do is straighten that front leg. And now you're going to use a block if you want. And this is one of the poses where using a block can really help, because if I can't keep my chest open, I can't be in one line. So you want to be as if your body's between two glass walls, let's say. You're not moving out, you're not moving back. You're right in one plane of energy with your Trikonasana. And sometimes it helps to practice this against a wall. So that's another modification you can do, is you can just go right up against a wall. I could go myself way back here. That wall to make sure that I'm all in one plane, and it stabilizes you. Now, this is when the block is really important. If you don't have a block and you start to go like this and you're way out of your plane, it's better to use a block. And then your hand can be lifted up off the earth a little bit, or you can be right on the earth, as long as you keep that alignment with your body and you're still in one. So either one. This is feeling good for me right now. So let's engage those bandhas and let's breathe. A little micro bend in the knees. You don't want to lock on that front knee. You can gaze up at your fingertips, or you can keep the head in alignment with your spine. Inhaling, we're going to reach into the extended fingertips. Exhaling, we're going to bring the hand down. And we're going to do 2 pyramids today. So you can use the blocks here again. So in your pyramid, and I like to take that back foot and bring it back a little more 90 degrees when I get into my pyramid, and especially my revolved triangle. So legs are still straight with micro bend. Back heel is reaching down towards the earth. And you're just going to relax down. You can use blocks here, or you can just bring the hands to the earth. It's a little bit of a resting pose. Feel a nice stretch on the front leg and engage the bandhas and breathe. And on our next inhale, we're going to move into Viparita. So you can use the block. This is a revolved triangle. So you can use a block. You can have it flat down like this and have it up like this. I don't suggest like this because it can get wobbly. Seeing people kind of fall from that. But I'm going to use this for right now. And we're going to turn away from me as you bring that right arm up. You can gaze up at the fingertips, engage the bandhas and breathe. A little twist. One more breath, inhaling, reaching up. And exhaling, bringing that hand down. And let's go into our pyramid again and just rest for a couple breaths here. One more breath. Beautiful. And coming up, now remembering there's variations. We're to a warrior one. So you shorten that stance if you like. You can drop a knee down if you like. And then I'm going to go into warrior two. So I'm going to bring my chair. That's a really good prop for balance. But first we're going to move into warrior one. So we'll set that foundation back again. Foot in the back is 35 to 45 degree angle. Front foot is 90 degrees facing the front of the mat. Knees right over the ankle, that front knee over the front ankle. Back thigh is engaged. Now we are going to have our pelvis and hips are facing forward. So we're going to square those hips. This left leg pulls this left hip back, so I need to move that forward and square it with the right. So do the best you can with that, and then readjust that knee. You're always having to readjust, and then bring the arms up overhead. Nice and active, facing forward in this, engaging those bandhas, and let's breathe. Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. Shoulders are relaxed down. One more breath. Beautiful job. We're going to move into Virabhadrasana 3, warrior 3. So let's take a step forward to start to prepare for that. I like to take it in steps in time. We can just flow right into it. And let's bring all our weight into the front standing leg. It's my right leg. So the right leg, we anchor that in. Take a moment to just bring your energy. Feel that leg go deeper down into the earth, extending further into the earth. And very little weight on this back foot, just the toe. And then you can begin to hinge forward. Now you can use, this is a chair. This is a nice way to, a nice modification to help with the pose. And there's a few ways you can use your arms. Traditionally, the arms are out and the foot is pointing down traditionally. There's other ways. You can point the toe high like an airplane. You can even bring it to your waist. I'm meaning my variation. So find what feels good for you. Engage the bandhas and breathe. One more breath. And beginning to come down, bringing that back down. Beautiful job. And here we are in to our wide stance. We're going to move into our star pose. Nice wide stance. We're going down. Let's bring the heels in a little, just getting ready for our goddess. Here we are in star. So star has 5 lines of energy. Foundation is set. We're going to bring the arms out. Arms are same height, both arms. And we're going to be this an active pose, even though it looks like we're standing here. It's kind of like mountain. The energy is all coming from the solar plexus, and there's 2 lines of energy going down both legs and feet. So feel those feet pressing into the earth. And then it's coming up to the heart and out, both arms and fingertips. So while the legs and the feet are pressing into the earth, the arms are extending and reaching out. And then that last line of energy comes up through the crown, lifting that crown. And you might feel your whole body and your spine lengthen, elongate, engaging the bandhas, and breathe. Modification is to bring a narrower stance for this. You can even do this down on your knees if you like. One more breath, feeling all those lines of energy. And let's relax the hands to the hips for a minute. And so we already brought our heels in. We really didn't need to, but if you haven't, bring them in a little bit so the feet are facing out. We're going to bend those knees to go over the feet. Now this is where you can bring the knees out a little wider. Now, modification is just a really nice, gentle, low squat like this maybe. Find your squat. Some people like to go really low and challenge themselves. So find what works for you. I feel like challenging myself today. Bring the arms up. Palms can face out or towards yourself. Engaging those bandhas. And let's breathe. One more breath. And then your next inhale, coming all the way up, bringing those hands back to the hips. We're going to stick that tailbone, tilt that pelvis forward a little bit, and we're going to begin to hinge forward in our wide leg forward fold. This is when we can, again, use a block to come down to. And you can also bend your knees a little bit if you need to, if you don't have a block. Coming down. This one I don't need a block, so I'm going to remove it just to show you. And just relax in our forward fold for a minute, taking a couple breaths in forward fold. And then maybe bending a knee, straightening the other leg, and moving side to side. Enjoying this inversion. We're bringing some blood flow to the brain, which is really good. Relaxing the neck and the head. And different things you can do here. You can bring the hands to the back. You can grab the elbows. You can take a hand down onto the earth. It's like in forward fold, and you can bring it up. I'm going to do one more thing while we're down. We can just come to each foot and feel that nice stretch on the body. Go one side and a couple minutes on this side, and then moving over to the other side and all the way over to the foot. Feeling the nice stretch. Keeping that breath flowing into the belly. And then coming back to center. And we are going to hinge up with this. So we're going to bring the hands to the hips. And remember, when we hinge up, we're going to lift the head and the heart first. So look at you, and then I'm going to begin to hinge at my hips, hinging at my hips to come up. Beautiful job. And let's move over to the other side, and we'll flow a little more flowingly. Find your variations and your modifications that your body needs. Bringing that knee over the ankle, back thigh engaged, arms out, and turning the head to gaze out over the front fingertips. Remember, the pelvis is facing me, engaging the bandhas, and let's breathe. Nice deep breath in. And on the next exhale, moving into Viparita, Virabhadrasana, back arm to back leg, front arm reaching up. And another variation for this is to straighten that leg. Or you can keep it bent, whatever works best for you, just variations. Inhaling, reaching up. And exhaling, swooping that arm. I'm adjusting my foundation right here so that I can be, if I'm too narrow, I'm looking like this. And then I'm not in that nice angle. So adjust your foundation, maybe bring the back leg back or bring that front leg forward so that you're able to move into a nice side angle and you have a nice straight line here. The line of energy is from that back foot alongside the body and out, extended fingertips. Very little weight here on this arm, just resting there. Gauging the bandhas and breathe. One more breath. Reaching up, exhale, we're going to straighten that front leg. Bring this left arm down. You can either touch the mat, lift it up a little above the mat, or you can bring the hand flat. You can use your block. Little micro bend in the knee. You can gaze up at the fingertips to add a little bit of twist into the spine. And breathe. Maybe. Next inhale, reaching into the fingertips. And on the exhale, bringing those hands down to the mat. You can adjust that back foot more 90 degrees. And we're in our pyramid. Hand on either side of the front foot. And we're just relaxing, resting down on the thigh. Back heel reaching down towards the earth. Engage the bandhas and breathe. On your next inhale, you're going to root all your weight and energy into this right hand. Twist away from me as you reach the left arm up into your revolved triangle, Viparita Trikonasana. And gaze up at the fingertips, or just keep the head in alignment with the spine. Next inhale, reaching into the fingertips. And on the exhale, coming down, and let's move into our pyramid again, taking a couple restful breaths. Inhale to the thigh. And then come, so your torso is straight. Back thigh is engaged. I'm going to move my foot back to 30 to 45 degrees, just adjusting that foundation first. Once that foundation is set, I'm going to move into the alignment. Back thigh is engaged. Hips are squared, knees right over the ankle. And then bring those arms up. Engaging those bandhas, and let's breathe. Shoulders are relaxed down. Inhaling into the hands. Exhaling. Next inhale. Step back. And then moving into your Virabhadrasana 3. Finding your modification. using a chair or wall if you need. Find a dristi and breathe. One more breath. And coming down. Beautiful job. Here we are, warrior flow. Let's move into, let's do our triangle, our star, and our goddess, and our forward fold one more time. Feeling those 5 lines of energy facing forward, engage the bandhas and breathe in your star. Active pose, active legs, active arms. Inhale, reaching into those 5 lines of energy. Exhale, we're going to bring the heels in a little, bending the knees over the feet into your squat, whatever feels good for you. Arms up, hands either facing out or towards yourself, engaging the bandhas and breathe in goddess. One more breath. Beautiful job. Inhale, coming up, hands on the hips. Tilt that pelvis forward as you stick the tailbone out a little and begin to hinge forward. Allowing the hinge to complete and then the spine to round to protect your body. You bring the hands down, shaking out the head. Remember, you can hold on to the elbows to deepen it if you like, or your hands to your back. Keeping the breath flowing. And releasing those hands down, moving into a little side-to-side stretch. Keeping that beautiful prana moving in the body. You can bring your hands to your ankles and pull your torso in towards your legs. Nice stretch. And then bringing the hands back down, and let's come down. Let's come up onto our knees. We'll do just a couple things on the floors, then we'll move into our savasana. Let's move into our camel. Done that for a little bit. First thing we do is tuck that tailbone under to open up these lumbar vertebrae so we go into our back bend. Nothing crunches, just to protect. Hands to the small of the back, right by that on either side of that lumbar vertebrae. Elbows are in and chest is open. And as we begin to lift the chest up and move into a nice gentle back bend. And this might be your pose for camel, and this is just great. You'd like to come up onto the toes. Another level is that, and you can bring the hands down to the heel. One more breath. And coming up, bring the hands back to the back. Releasing those feet, and let's come into a child's pose, opening up the knees a little and resting a couple breaths in our child's pose. Arms alongside the legs. And coming up, we're going to bring those legs forward. Let's bring the soles of the feet together into Baddha Konasana. Wrapping the hands around the feet, and let's flap those butterfly wings. And slowing that down to a stop, and then bringing those legs down to the earth, inhaling as we lengthen the back, inhaling, extending up, and exhaling, hinging forward. Nice forward fold in your butterfly. And we're just going to stay here. If you'd like to roll over, you can do that too. You can bring the hands down, the forearms down, and roll the back. You can stay with the spine lengthened. Just making sure you're feeling that in those hips. That's what we're opening right now, are those hips. One more breath here. And on the inhale, coming up. So let's bring both legs forward. Flex and extend those feet. We're going to move into a wide leg forward fold. We usually do it the single leg. That's always my preference. I'm going to do this double leg once in a while. First thing we want to do before we move into our forward fold is inhale and lengthen the spine. Elongate. So you feel that spine, and those spinal processes create a little space between them. You can bring your hands on your hips for this time, because we're going to be hinging at the hips, and feel that hinge come at your hips. And you're going to feel your edge, because the back leg muscles are going to start to alert you that that's about enough, and you're going to automatically begin to start to round the spine. But let's take a moment and just hold this, hold the bandhas, and hold this edge for a nice long breath. And then see if you can hinge a little deeper, noticing that micro movement in the hinge, just a little deeper. And then allow the spine to round. You can bring the hands down to the legs, the feet, and you can bring the head in towards the legs and the knees. And resting and taking a few breaths here, honoring where your body is at. Everybody's body is different. Beautiful. And coming up gently and slowly coming back up. Beautiful job. And we're going to scoot to the front of the mat. Lots of other things we could do down up there, but let's do that. And let's either come down nice and slowly, or if there's enough padding and if your body can do that, we can move into some spinal rocks. Feeling a nice massage on those erector spinae muscles. And ending up so we're nice and flat on our backs. Beautiful job. And we haven't done half shoulder stand in a little bit, so let's do that. Modification would be just to have the legs up. So let's just bring the legs up and feel that nice inversion. And what's wonderful about the inversions, especially with half shoulder stand, or just bringing the legs up and flex and extend these feet, is that these veins in the leg get a little break. And that's a really good thing for the legs, is to give those veins a break. If you'd like to move into half shoulder stand, we're going to bring the hands down to the mat for a minute, palms down, but then they're going to come right up, and they're going to be holding your pelvis up, your whole your buttocks up. So we're going to lift the buttocks up, Bring the hands here, the small of the back. You can feel feet are right above the head, and relaxing the chin to a comfortable level, and breathe. You can gaze up at those toes. Nice variation is to bring one foot down at a time. Touch the earth. Maybe take a breath here. You can also go side to side. We're just going to do vertical today. And then let's hinge over into plow. I like to keep those legs nice and parallel to the earth. You can bring those toes down, but this is the best way to protect the lower back and the spine. So I like to keep this lower back here, the legs nice and parallel. And breathe. Bandha's active. On your next exhale, curling up like a little ball. I like to always curl up first. And then we're going to bring the hands down to the mat, palms down, and allow your spine to round down. Beautiful job. And a nice pose to follow your half shoulder stand is your fish, Matsyasana. So we'll lay flat on our backs. Palms are facing down onto the earth, and we're going to scoop them underneath each buttocks. Beautiful. Bring those arms and elbows close, snug into the body. And then we're going to press into the elbows as we lift the chest. Let the chest lead the way. The head lifts up off the earth. And then we're going to drop just the head. Try to get the crown of the head, if you can, onto the earth. So the back bend is in the upper thoracics. Engaging the bandhas and breathe. On your next inhale, pressing into those elbows again as you lift the chest, straighten out the spine and the head, and come back down nice and flat onto your back. Then let's release those hands. And let's bring the knees into the chest, because back bends are always forward folds, or bringing the spine into flexion is always a nice counter pose for any back bend or extension of the spine. You can rock back and forth. Let's move into a knee down twist. Bring in that nice twist energy into the spine. So I'm going to take the left leg straight out. I'm going to come up onto that left side just an inch. Right knee is bent, and I'm going to bring it over to the left. Left hand is guiding that right knee and leg over. And the right arm is out 90 degrees. And I'm going to turn my head and gaze out over the right fingertips. This adds a nice twist to the lumbar, the thoracic, and cervical spine. And it not only brings energy into the spine, it brings energy into the organs, and it cleanses the organs. It's like we've got a rag and we wring it out and we twist it both two directions. And all the unwanted water will just pour out of that rag. So we're bringing so much energy into the organs and the spine. enjoying the sensations. I always like to take a few extra breaths in our twists, this knee down twists, give the body enough time to really adjust to this pose. And one more breath. And releasing the knee. Coming back onto our back. You switch to the other leg. It's playing good. So right leg is out, coming up onto that right side just an inch to keep that spine neutral. Left knee is bent, coming over to the right. Right hand on the left leg as you guide it over. And then bringing the left arm out 90 degrees and turning the head to gaze out over those left fingertips. And engage those bandhas and breathe. One more nice deep breath. And releasing the leg and coming back to center. Hi, Sandy. And once you're back into center, bring those knees into the chest and let's rock and release that spine. Let's move into our Baddha Konasana, Supta Baddha Konasana, supine butterfly. Feet are together, soles of the feet are together, wrapping the hands around the feet. And let's pull those feet gently in towards the body, honoring your edge. Feeling a nice opening of the hips. And active bandhas and breathe. Beautiful job. And let's move into a baby, bringing those feet, knees are wide, out towards even wider than my armpits. Feet are facing the sky. And let's pull those knees and legs down towards the earth, feeling that beautiful hip opening. And then moving into our happy baby, just rolling around and kicking, enjoying the legs. We're babies, we discover those legs. Hi, Xander. Xander is our ecstatic yoga kitty cat. He's got quite the personality. Loves to be in here while I do my yoga. I'm just having fun. Just rediscovering those legs. The sensations, embodying into these legs. All the awareness into these legs. We have that sometimes we forget we have if we sit a lot. Forget we have these legs. And doing any last pose you need to do. We're going to move into some releases. And let's look at the time. We're actually going to move into Savasana. So do whatever your body may need, any last pose or stretch, and we'll move into our, let's do a couple releases, just 2 releases. We'll do hula and our cat cow on the floor. So finding your hula, you're flat on that sacrum, and you're swiveling these hips. Nothing's lifting up off the earth. Just moving those hips. As one hip drops down, the other reaches up towards the upper body. Swiveling those hips. Up and down and down. Releasing and relaxing that lower back. And coming back to neutral, and we're going to move into cat-cow. As we move into cat, we're going to tuck that tailbone under, tilting the pelvis back, and pressing the small of the back into the earth. And then as we move into our cow, we're going to bring a nice arch, extension of the spine, tilting that pelvis forward as we feel that tailbone pointing in towards the earth. Gentle breaths. Moving back and forth at your own pace. And coming back to neutral position. And moving into your, let's do one last little knees to chest. And then moving into your Savasana, and find a nice, comfortable, if you need to put a sweater on or socks or put a blanket over you, have your little Savasana nest close by, bringing the arms out, resting, palms up, the legs can be a little wide, feet out, and simply breathe, relaxing and allowing and inviting the body to let go all effort, all tension in the muscles, release and relax. Let the earth receive. Let all that tension just be dropped into the earth. And if you're holding any tension, let it go. Feeling the muscles relax. Deeper and deeper. Every system of the body, the muscular system, skeletal system, feel those bones become heavier and being drawn towards the earth. Heart and circulatory system, the lungs and respiratory system, the reproductive system, the digestive system, the endocrine system, skin, relaxing deeper and deeper, letting go, feeling the body become heavier, sinking deeper into the earth. Like when you're at the beach and your body just impresses down into the sand. And finally relaxing that brain. The entire nervous system. Every synapse, every nerve. And we'll rest in silence as we integrate the practice, mind, body, and spirit. Taking a nice deep breath into the belly. Couple breaths as you gently and kindly come back from relaxation. Beginning to wiggle the fingers and toes, stretch out the arms and legs as you come back into the body. Remembering if samadhi grips you, always run with it. Don't come back with me. Allow that samadhi to take its course. And bringing the knees up, moving the hips around a little bit. And when you're ready, rolling over to one side or the other. Taking a nice breath here. And coming up to a seated position. And we're going to move into our 10-minute mindfulness meditation. So finding a nice comfortable seat, feeling those sits bones connected to the earth. Finding your most comfortable seat. Some people like hero. I like easy pose here. If you want to have a hand mudra, my fingers, I'm in haikini, my fingers and thumbs are all connected. I love this hand mudra because it connects the meridians, connects all the energies in the body. It keeps it so it's a closed circuit rather than an open circuit, which is either way is okay. Chin mudra is a good one with thumb and finger. And yeah, rest are open. And we'll find that anchor. And I invite you to choose an anchor. This week you can connect into your pratyahara, your inner aliveness as an anchor. You may have a mantra or a word that you want to focus on, or maybe the breath, or maybe listening. These are the ones we've gone over. Just breathing, relaxing, and when you find that single point of focus, whatever you choose, stick with it for the 10 minutes. If thoughts come in to distract you from your single point of focus, kindly and gently just bring yourself back. maintaining that single point of focus. All your attention concentrated on your anger. Concentration, dharana, focused attention on your anger. And gently and kindly coming back and Seeing this week we have one of our classes is on chant, ecstatic chant, spontaneous chant. I'll see if I have a spontaneous chant. Take a sip of water. To close the practice out, let's maybe a prayer. My chants are more prayers than anything, so you can have your eyes opened or closed and just receive the energy of the chant. See what's there. O te ke ako me hate se a he a he a he. O te se ako ni hate se a he a he a he. Hunde kate sende ke maya hunde ke a he. He a he a he. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey. Hey. And we'll close with our namaste prayer. And put your hands in Anjali Mudra to your heart if you like. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, light, truth, and peace. When I'm in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, we are one. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for ecstatic yoga. Wishing you a most beautiful and most blessed day.